You're listening to the Full-Time Function Musician Podcast, the #1 resource for growing your function musician business. If you're a solo wedding singer, part of a 12-piece luxury show band, or anything in between, and want to learn from other successful musicians, you're in the right place.
Next question is a tough one, actually. It comes from Heidi Gordon, and she said, "How do I stand out and find my unique selling point?" That's tough.
Yeah.
So again, this is coming back. We've talked about it a lot already, but finding your niche. But how do you actually find that niche? I think you've got to try lots of different things to start with, to see what sort of sticks and what resonates with the audience that you're building, what you enjoy doing.
I'd say whittle down to what songs you're performing. And this, I'm not sure whether this person's a singer or
I'm sure I recognise the name. She's a singer, definitely, and I feel like she does sort of jazz stuff, but also I feel like we've got a fly in her. I think she also does some tribute stuff as well.
Oh, okay. I mean, tributes are great because you can advertise yourself. Tributes are huge at the minute. Famous acts, yeah.
And they, as far as I'm aware, pay better than regular function work.
They do, yeah.
And they are, in itself, it is like automatically a niche. Like if you're a Taylor Swift tribute, you're not going to be doing other songs. So it's like automatically easier to sell to people that are looking for that exact thing.
Yeah. If you're a Taylor Swift tribute, there's a lot of kids' parties that you get booked for.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you just got to try things out. Like, this isn't really good advice, but I feel like most people just fall into a niche eventually. Like I know I did. I don't know if you can necessarily plan it as much.
There's something you keyed in there. You said she does a couple of tribute things and she does jazz.
I think so.
Right.
If it's
from a marketing perspective, I'd say have 3 pages.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. I would. Right. For any. Sure. I've talked about that on the podcast before as well. Is if you just picking a niche doesn't mean that you can't do other things. But you should. I would definitely separate them out. Separate websites, separate Instagram, so that things don't get confusing. But yeah, to answer the question of how do you find it, apart from just getting out there and trying things, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry if that's awful advice.
Look at your music taste and start from there.
Start with what you enjoy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most important lessons, I'm sure that there's more like articulate way to put this, but the lesson that I've learned over my time of effectively trying not to be a musician in my early career and then falling into being a musician was, if you do what you want to do every day, then you'll end up doing what you want to do every day.
Wait, does that? Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Yeah,
yeah. You get better at it. People pay you for it.
Yeah.
That's how you find your niche. You just keep doing you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's an ancient Chinese proverb of saying that, but like be the grasshopper or something.
So you mentioned this one earlier, but let's go into that now. This one came from the Dukes of Swing, who said that they're struggling to get booked locally. And I've lost the main question.
I think I saw it earlier. Yeah, I'm not getting bookings locally. What can I do? I'd have to see what type of bookings they're getting and where they're coming from.
Sure, I'll maybe find the message because
Do you have some insight into that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Where was it? So, yeah, he said, we're a band that has played at Claridge's for royalty, Houses of Parliament, lavish venues around the country, but don't get to play in our local town or local festivals, but can get booked across the country. And I mean, that all just depends on where you live, right? If what you're selling isn't what's wanted around that certain area, and is that necessarily even a bad thing? If it sounds like you've got great gigs coming in already.
Yeah, they want to get booked locally. It depends, because it sounds like as well that they're a band, right?
Yeah.
So they need to find venues that have got the budget for that. So it could be that they are being approached by local venues, but they're not quite in the budget for it.
Yeah.
Because the thing that's difficult about a band is obviously everyone needs to get paid, and you also have rehearsal costs on top of what you do. So I can rehearse as a solo musician at home in my own time, and I'm not inducing any cost. Whereas when you have a band, you need to start paying for rooms and get everyone together at the same time. And then when you go to a venue, yes, they pay more for a band, but per person you get paid less. So it could be that they need to start advertising to larger venues. It's hard to go with any context.
Yeah,
obviously, I'm speaking out of... I don't know how much they charge.
Yeah.
But otherwise, are they building any rapport with the ones that they know can?
Yeah, that's what my advice would be. Is it's local, so it's quite easy for you to locally just go and knock on some doors and speak to people one-on-one, and make some connections there, build a relationship. Is what the main advice would be, I guess. Also, another thing that could be good as well for local stuff is figuring out Google SEO. If people are searching for something, it normally comes up more locally, right? So figuring that out on your website could be a good answer as well.
That's true. I mean, SEO for bands, I find it works, but it's a very small amount of traffic that you're going to get through, I think.
And something else that could be great as well is just book your own show. Like, don't wait for a venue to come and ask you. Book the venue. Yeah, it might be a bit more of a risk up front because you're going to be paying for the costs of it and stuff, but then you get to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
And you get to keep all the profits, essentially.
And I think every band should learn that, because you cannot just be a musician when you're self-employed. You have to learn business. And if you learn how to sell tickets, you learn how to sell yourself, you learn how to manage, you up your skill set, and you're worth more to the venues.
Yeah.
So that's something that I do. So I charge quite a high amount for my New Year's, but I also add in there now an advertising cost, because I'm good at marketing, and so I know at what times to kind of push the right advertising to the right people. And I say, look, this is how much I'm going to charge, but I want to sit down and we're going to do a strategy with you. And last year I did this and we smashed it out the park. We had 150 tickets to sell, and when they sold out, they paid for me, the DJ, cold buffet, the staff behind the bar, and still had 500 quid left on top. And that's not counting any of the drinks that 150 people bought on New Year. Yeah. So they would have made a killing that night. I was happy, all the staff was happy, everyone was happy. Yeah. So yeah, selling tickets for shows is a really important skill.
Yeah, we did a podcast episode with Josh something, I can't remember, quite a while ago now, but he
is he the guitarist guy?
No, he was like I can't remember if he did a Michael Bublé show or something similar to that, which is swing as well, I guess. So that's something similar to you guys, the Dukes of Swing. And he was having the same issue as well, and so he did exactly that. He went and booked his own theatre show, sold the tickets, it went really well. So now he brought that theatre show around to other theatres around the UK, and he does all of his booking, sells all the tickets himself, and manages the whole thing, and it's going really well for him. So yeah,
wow.
I would say try that. Try putting your own show on locally, and that might build some demand for future ones.
And then you have local fans, and you can leverage that when you go to another venue. So look, I know that I've got at least 100 people here that want to see us again. So if you're lucky, we'll play at your venue.
Yeah. I think that pretty much covers that one.